Well, my man, S and friends, here we are. It's Thursday. We're getting closer to the weekend. That's always a good feeling. Pretty warm today, so we'll probably have the sweat factor going. And then Jackson and I are twinsiing over here today. So we're supporting our Medtronic company here and giving them a little bit of rah-rah out there. So, all right. What we got going on today, we're going to continue on to the new programming that we've been working on. So that has the pyramid movement, the pyramid of power. It also has the extended Tabata, so that's 30 seconds and then 10 seconds of rest that we're doing for the next few weeks as well. Warm-ups stay the same, stretching stays the same, and we're going to turn ourselves around. We're going to start out in our bird dog position. So let's go hands and knees. Let's open up kind of opposite hand and foot as we lift, and then smooth as we come back down. So as we lift up, we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to exhale and bring it back down. All right, inhale, exhale. Think extension through a hand and a foot as we lift. We're expanding that reach, and we got one more from here. All right, from here it is scorpion kick, so arms going wide, chest down to the floor. We're going to start with one foot raising up. We're going to kick it over to the opposing side, and then smoothly coming back down to the floor before that switch happens. You got it. So think about hands are grounding, right? They're providing a level of support, level of anchoring through this. And then as you get into a few extras, let's kind of see if you can reach that foot maybe another few inches further, side to side. Get a little extra opening, a little extra twisting. Last one. All right, let's come up to plank position. We want your feet to be a little extra wide in this plank, and now we walk it back, hands 2 feet. We're going to stand up. We're going to bring those arms up. Those feet stay wide so we can get into a low squat from here. Let's fold it down, fingers to toes, do a little hip swinging, smile, and sit. All right, now as we sit, figure out where you can be comfortable. It might have to be a little higher, and that's okay. Or if you can stay low, let's get into it and sink into it. Bring those arms up, step all the way up through those heels, and then fold it back down. Swing the hips a little side to side. And then that low squat. Let's sit into it, find comfort. Let's find a tall spine from here. So nice and tall, chest up, shoulders pull back and down, hands up, and stand on up. And then our last one, as we bring it down to the floor, when we get into that low squat, we're going to keep movement going. So go ahead and squat it down, straighten up the spine, but now give me a little side-to-side rocking. Okay, at 3, 2, center yourself, bring those arms up, and stand on up. All right, from here are our kicks, so opposite hand out to an opposite foot. We'll go through these for about 20 seconds. It's a good time for you to just feel some of the back of that leg stretching out, to wake up a little balance into a single leg approach. And as you kick out, breathe out. 2 more. And last one. All right, golf stance happens next. So I'm going to move a little forward so I got space to move behind me. We're going to bring those hands together. We're going to get into an athletic stance. And then we're going to stand and open and sit and squat. All right? Stand open, bring it down. Okay, now as you come up, breathe out. Breathe in, bring it down. Breathe out, stand up. Breathe in, we got last 2. And last one. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to continue to review what we had done last time, which are the first movement of our core 3. It's kind of the rolling and a single arm shoulder press. We need 2 weights. We're going to bring ourselves down on the floor, and we're going to start facing each other in your screen. So you start facing your screen. On one side, I want your bottom hand, that weight, to be really close towards the body and the chest. I want your top arm to be straight up above the shoulder. So not back, not overhead, but kind of straight on up. Then the feet lift up. Okay, so from here, maintaining those feet off the floor really recruits the core. We're going to rotate over to the opposite side 180 degrees and switch those arms with the press. Bring it right back and repeat. So I'm going to have you work through these a few times. Just continue to familiarize the body with the movement. And if you need to, your feet could gently tap the floor and you could still work on plenty of rotation through those core muscles. We're going to do one more here. All right, and then go ahead and bring it on down. All right, so that is the beginning of our core 3 movement. Once again, just wanted to fine tune that with everybody. We're gonna start out with our 2-2-2s. So we've got a minute of 2-2-2s. Let's remember with these 2-2-2s, it's a little bit different where we're gonna start with the Renegade rows and then do the heel lifts. So we'll coach you through it. I'm gonna get our clock started. And if you're a little confused as how they go, just slow it down in the beginning and we're gonna work on it together. So we'll get started in 3, in 2, in 1. So first up is 2 Renegade rows. Just like Jackson's doing, it's pulling that weight back. Then we do 2 heel lifts. And if you notice, I'm on my knees, so I'm giving you that more manageable approach through here. We stand on up, bring the weights up, 2 squats. Keep the weights, 2 lunges. All right, go back to the floor. Weights to the floor, step it back. Wide stance with your plank. And now we do 1 pull on one side, switch it, and then 2 heel lifts. So we're always gonna have the combo on the floor of 2 core movements. The Renegade row as well as those heel lifts. When we stand up, it's 2 leg movements. Squats first, then 2 lunges. All right, go back down to the floor, last few. We'll be finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Stand up with us. Your mobility move of the day. Kind of a warrior 3, but we're going to grab your back foot. So we're going to start with your right hand grabbing your right foot. We're going to lean a little forward, reach out with your left, and then we're going to come back up, drop the foot, and switch. Left hand grabs the left, lean into it, come back up, drop it, switch it. So you take your time through here. See if you can hold the balance. See if you can maybe even tilt the body so we get a little bit more parallel with that body to the floor before you come back up. We got 10 more seconds and then we're going to transition to the floor for that core 3 beginning. All right, in 2, in 1, come to the floor, grab those weights, same thing we just did where we're on our side. Top arm up, other arm here. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. We're going to rotate it over and switch the arm with the press. And just kind of that smooth side to side as we go through here. Now, some things to notice through this. Your head placement. Don't strain your neck through here. The eyes can look up at that weight, and that's a good way to kind of make sure it's stacked, but I don't want you straining the neck. Think about how we've got kind of a good straight line, not arching. In 3, in 2, in 1, put the weights down. You have your bicycle straight leg kick next. We're already going, so join into it with us. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. We need that more manageable approach. We're doing regular bicycle with those bent knees. And once we're done with this movement, we're going to turn ourselves around and lie down flat on the stomach for our final core 3 exercise. All right, 3, 2, 1. Turn yourself around, arms extended. You're going to raise up your hands as well as your feet. One arm's going to come down by your hip, stand or reach it back up, and then switch to the opposing side. Now, more manageable approach, we could put 1 foot to the floor. That can give us a little bit of assistance. You can also keep those elbows a little closer to the body if your low back needs that assistance as well. Steady breathing. We're finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good, folks. That is take a breather time. That is high five time. You are officially warmed on up. All right, so we've got the pyramid of power going on. We've got 6 movements. They're going to start from being 1 minute a piece, and then they're going to work their way down, all the way down to 10 seconds before we reverse it and go all the way back up. We got 2 movements today that are going to be single-sided, so we're going to start on the right side when we get to those single-sided movements. Jackson and I are going to do a very brief explanation of each of these. So Jackson, let's get into what we're doing first. It's a squat and a single leg deadlift on 2 sides. We're going to use 2 weights. 2 moderate weights is ideal for what we're doing, or 1 heavy weight can work really well here too. So Jackson can give you a side angle. I'm going to give you a front angle. You're going to do a squat first. Weights are at your side. And then a single leg deadlift. Both weights in front of one leg. As one leg lifts behind you, you then come back up. You switch it to the opposite side. All right. And then go back to the squat. So 1 squat and 1 single leg deadlift on each side. Your second movement, you could choose to keep the weights or you could leave the weights. And this is going to be a forward and a back lunge. So once again, we're going to step forward with our right foot because this is our single-sided movement. We're stepping into a lunge and then we're stepping back, shifting the weight and the power always into that forward leg. So whatever leg is in front, this is your power leg. Make sure to use that as you're going up and down through those lunges. Exercise number 3 is up downs. It's a little cardio. It's basically a burpee without the jump. So we're going to bring the hands to the floor, lower flat all the way before you stand up and repeat. Right back down. Now, if you needed a more manageable approach, you could stay here on the hands and just kind of step out and in from that plank position. After that, the second half of our movements, our shorter workouts, are down on the floor. We're going to start with windshield wiper legs, a little bit of core work first. Going to get on your back, take your arms wide, and allow your feet to drop side to side. You work on distance as to what's best for you. Now, following movement is a full body crunch. So we're going to stay on the back. We're going to raise those arms and feet up. We're going to bring everything in and extend it all back out. And then our final movement is a side plank hold. So we're going to start on that right side. And we're going to lift up the top leg if you feel good enough. Or, as that more manageable approach, we could stay here. It's only a 10-second hold. It's going to be much, much shorter for that single-sided side plank. Those are the explanations. We're going to get through them. Once again, we start at a minute for our first movement, and then we're going to incrementally work our way down. So what you need are 2 moderate weights right now, and we're going to start with that combo of the squat and the single leg deadlifts on both sides. Let's hit that. Let's hit that. Very good. We got 10 seconds. Let's get ready to rock, everybody. Squat and single leg deadlift. Start in 3, in 2, in 1. One good squat with the weights at your side, and then a single leg deadlift on both of those individual sides. Awesome. Repeat through there. Go back to that squat. Now, if I'm more manageable, I'm just not going quite as low with my motions, but I'm still feeling a lot of shoulders and back muscles. So I've got that retraction of my shoulders working behind me, and that's going to keep me safe as well as additionally active into the movement. You got it. So he's got a nice combo here. Recruiting your core is always a key component to what we want to do with a good deadlift. We got 20 seconds. After the 20, it's a 15-second rest period. 10 more seconds here. Last few. Continue to find where that perfect squat is for you. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Now, for second movement, it's a forward and back lunge. And we're going to start by stepping forward with our right foot for the lunge and then stepping back with the right foot. Okay? You could keep the weight. You could go body weight. We're going to start in 3, in 2, in 1. Forward step with the right. The right foot goes behind you next. And if you kick your towel around, no big deal. Right? You can make your area a little messy. We can have fun with that. All right, now, more manageable approach. We're not going as low, but we still are practicing kind of the weight shifting to that forward back position. Awesome. Now, Jackson, this kind of fired up his knee a little bit as we were practicing it early on, so I told him, I said, just don't go as low if you feel like it. Are you warming up a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured so much. So you might notice that too. Maybe your first round you go a little lighter. In your second round, you might notice your body starts to loosen and give you more. We got last few right here, about 5 seconds remaining, then another 15-second break to follow. 3, 2, 1. We've got another 15-second break right here. Our third movement is those up downs. So we're going to go all the way down, flat to the stomach, and then stand back up. Option is to go to hands and then stand back up. We start in 2, in 1, bring it down to the floor. I'm going to show you that more manageable approach where I'm just going to go to a high plank and then I'm going to step back up. You work into what's best for you. And our time has been going down with each of our movements. So we've got ourselves 20 more seconds of these up downs. This is a cardio movement. Now if you're feeling good, if you wanted to add a power option to this, you could make it a full burpee. You could give me a jump at the top if you really were looking for that power option. And clearly we got a gentleman over here who's looking for exactly that. All right, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor. Windshield wiper legs are next. So we want to make sure that we're on our back. We have our hands a little wide to help us ground. And if you needed that more manageable approach, all you got to do is bend your knees a little bit extra. All right, we start in 2, in 1. Let's work it over to one side. Bring it up. Control it with whatever you're doing. And now you're going to notice my knees are a little extra bent. I'm giving you that more manageable approach through here. And also because we know who the real star of the show is back here. It's Jackson. It's not me. I'm just taking it easy and running my gums, and he's the one doing the work, just like you all at home. All right, 3, 2, 1. Stay on your back. The full body crunch is next. Okay, so 20 seconds of full body crunch in 3, 2, 1. Extend out. More manageable approach. I'm going to tap the heels to the floor, and then I'm still going to bring everything in. Tap the heels to the floor, bring everything in. All right, we're going to finish with a side plank on the right side coming up. 3, 2, 1. In 10 seconds, we need to be in our side plank position. So I'd like you to get there now. Elbow underneath you on the right side. Split those feet or stack them. 2, 1. If you can lift that top leg and keep it, do it. If you need to be split feet down here or on a knee, you're welcome to it. 2, 1, rest. Nicely done, everybody. Ooh. You have climbed your pyramid. Welcome to Egypt. Now, you all got to reverse it. You got to make your way right back down. So I'm going to hit that stop button. I'm going to hit that reset button. And that's going to keep our heart rates hopefully a little higher. So we're going to repeat this, but now we're going to switch it starting on the short end. So be on your left side for that side plank first off. We're going to get you started in about 5 seconds. Same lift in 3, 2, 1. If you got that ability, lift the leg. If you need to be down with both, that's fine. Or you can be on that bottom knee as well. In 3, in 2, in 1. Next up is full body crunch. So lie down on your back. Take those arms up and over. We start you in 3, in 2, in 1. Now, more manageable approach. My heels tap the floor. And then we find that good breath out as we crunch. Excellent. And you should be able to push your low back down as you get to the top of that crunch, right? Find that low back working into what we're doing. 3, 2, 1. Windshield wiper legs are next. Jackson's going to reposition himself a little bit. You need to do that at home. Of course, you figured that out. 3, 2, 1. We've got 30 seconds of side to side. More manageable approach. The knees stay a little more bent, and we don't go as far distance side to side. Heating up in here. Perfect. And Jackson's doing a great job of getting some awesome depth into this. If you can, do so. That's your power option, is work all the way to the floor on the opposite. 3, 2, 1. Stand up. From here, it is our up downs for 40 seconds. Okay? We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. All the way flat to the floor. Bring it up. Manageable options. Stay on the hands as you step out and step back up. All right, Jackson's got a little bit of a burpee option if he wants it. No, he's going to stay at it. Yeah. You all got an option of a burpee in the background if you need it. Excellent. Got ourselves a little over 10 seconds, working hard through this cardio motion. We're going to stay standing for our last 2 movements. Let's go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Next up, we've got the forward and back lunge. We're going to lead off with our left foot going forward, and then that left foot stepping behind us. If you want to wait, grab it. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Step into that and control it coming back. So what's really key about this is there's a lot of balance working. Why don't you just show me good control through the motion, right? There it is, there it is. Keep working through that. You're staying higher, but still giving me some knee bending for that more manageable approach. There you go, my man. So control is the name of the game through here. The weight shifting forward to back is definitely a game changer into what's working. There we go. About 10 seconds remaining right here. We're going to have a 15-second break to follow, and then final movement will be squats and single leg deadlifts. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Now grab those weights if you're not using them. It's time for the squat plus the single leg deadlift combos. First up, weights are at your side. Regular squat. We're going to start in 3, in 2, in 1. Squat it down. Single leg deadlift on one side. Bring it up tall. Switch it over. Opposite single leg. Back to a good squat. Set those feet up. Make sure they're in the right place for that squat to happen cleanly each time, please. All right. So you're working out the balance. Right now, generally, if you keep those weights real close to the leg, I find that really automatically helps me balance a little bit better. Keep the abs tight as kind of one of those big pieces to what a good deadlift has. Awesome. When we're finished with this movement, we've got 30 seconds of rest before we start our 2-2-2s. Got about 10 seconds left here, folks. 10 seconds. Continue to find balance, find depth into a squat. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Now put the weights at the sides of your mat because we're going to be using them once again for the Renegade rows and on the floor for those heel lifts in the upcoming 2-2-2s. Okay? If you need any water, grab it now. It's 15 more seconds and we start our 2-2-2s. All right, get yourself down onto the floor, weights under hands. You're going to do Renegade rows to start. We get you started in 3, in 2, in 1. My hips stay forward. We're going to do 2 rows, then 2 heel lifts. So remember, 2 movements on the floor before we then step up. Bring those weights up with you, right in front of the shoulders. 2 good squats. 2 lunges. Bring those weights back to the floor and repeat. Step it up, good squats. Set up that squat position perfectly. I am always okay with this being done slowly so that your form is perfected. Awesome, we got about 10 more seconds through here. See if you can figure out finishing a couple more 2s. Mobility, we'll start our mobility move in 3, in 2, in 1. The weights go to the floor, kind of our warrior 3 as we grab that back foot and we reach forward and then come back up and switch it. Now if you have trouble with this, you can work on just kind of bringing that heel up, maybe not even reaching and grabbing the foot, and not tilting all the way forward. We can use that as kind of intro into our mobility move here. All right, so we got about 10 seconds left. Once this is done, core 3 starts on the floor on our side with both those weights. We'll have 10 seconds of intro. 3, 2, 1. Come down to the floor. Face us on the side. You're going to have one weight up top, other weight here. 3, 2, 1. Smooth rotation with a good press. And each time you press, visually look at that. Is that hand stacked on top of the shoulder? Good. Manageable option. Has those feet tap the floor, but still rotating through those hips. Our next movement is the bicycle straight leg kick. We've got 10 seconds till we get there. Nicely done. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Bicycle straight leg kick. Weights go down, hands go behind the head. We scissor kick the legs. We go opposite elbow to opposite knee with those arms. And we're feeling low back pressure down into the floor. Once again, regular bicycle is our more manageable approach. All right, we're gonna go flat to our stomachs in 3, in 2, in 1. Flip around, arms up, keep them up, keep the feet up, bring one hand and reach down to the hip, come back forward and switch. More manageable approach, elbows are here, right? We can still do a little reaching, keeping those elbows closer to the ribs. All right, if you can push that belly into the floor, you can continue to wake up and feel more of that core. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is good, everybody. Take a well-earned water break. Treat yourself to a little bit of that H2O. All right. Woo. Shake it out. Feel that heart rate going. Hopefully y'all got a little perspiration going as well. We got some extended Tabata coming up next. Our 30-10s come up next. How we feeling? Should we happy hippie over here? I don't know if you guys saw, but the latest video I posted, I made that our main photo. So, Jesse, once again, your inspiration strikes deep within the hearts of these workouts. All right, everybody. So Jackson and I will go over your extended Tabata movements. Once again, there's 5 of them. 3 of them are done on a single side. Let's go over the first 3, which are standing, and our first one, which is using a moderate to a heavy single weight. So we're going to grab something household-wise, maybe some detergent, maybe a single dumbbell if you got one of those hanging around. It is a combination of doing a step-back lunge and a chop, something we've done before. So I'm going to give you kind of a more front angle. Jackson's going to give you that side angle. Whichever leg steps back into the lunge, have the weight go towards that side. Then as you stand up, feet together, bring the weight to the forward opposite shoulder, and kind of with some strength, right? So when you pull that up, it's with a little bit of oomph. All right, so that is your first and your second movement. Now from here, we're gonna do a little bit of bicep curling, and I want you to get a heavy weight on this one. Something that you can do a single bicep curl, but something that's gonna have some challenge. So I'm gonna have my right hand holding, because I want my right side to be that first side for me. Other arm is out, and you'll notice I got one foot up and off the floor. As I curl that weight up, I'm also gonna curl my heel up. Then I'm going to come back down with everything, try to keep that foot off the floor, but this is a hamstring curl with a bicep curl. Now I'm trying to keep that tall approach, trying to keep my core nice and engaged. Once we switch one side, we go to that opposite side. We'll put the weight down from there, and we'll be moving into some quick feet. We're going to have our hands moving along with us. Quick feet, football season, training camp, it's coming up, so we got to get ready. We got to get those quick feet going. Make sure that as our 49ers get ready for upcoming Super Bowl season, they're able to dip and dodge from people, right? All right, that's our quick feet. After that, we come down to the floor. On the floor, we're going to take a dead bug and we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to call it a reverse dead bug. So let's start right here. And as we meet one elbow and knee on the same side this time, so same side meeting elbow and knee, the other arm and leg extend out. All right, go ahead and switch it over. And this is your reverse dead bug. We're going to get into a plank position, and we've done this one once or twice before. It is definitely a good challenge. You might need to be on the knees as a manageable option, but we're going to start with a single leg plank, right? So if our right leg is up, our opposite hand is going to tap our shoulder. It's going to do single individual taps to one side. Then when we switch, we're going to change the opposite leg being up and the opposite hand doing the tapping. All right, everybody? So those are your movements. That's our Tabata coming up. We're going to start standing up, and we're going to need a single moderate to heavy weight for that first movement, if not even that second one. So let's go ahead and hit our start button, which will give us 10 seconds. We've got a step back lunge with the chop at the top. Chop at the top. All right, we get started in 3, 2, 1. Whichever foot steps back, the weight goes down to that side. And when you come up, the weight goes to the opposite leg, that forward leg into the lunge. All right, more manageable approach. We don't let you go too low into that lunge, and you might not be lifting that weight up as high to keep yourself a little bit safer. So 10 more seconds, working through here. All right, very good. We go finished in 3, in 2, in 1. We take 10 seconds of rest before our second side comes up. Take your time. We get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Find where the lunge works for you, right? Bring that weight to the back leg side. Oh.
Is this right?
No, you're switching it up.
Okay.
Give me the opposite side with the weight down. There we go. There we go. So that weight should kind of cruise back into like that opened side of the body now. There you go. And you can use a little bit of a hip thrust to help momentum of that weight going up. All right. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. A heavy item is what I want next. We're going to be doing a curl with a hamstring and a bicep. In 3, in 2, in 1. Grab that heavy weight. Give me a tall disposition with the body. And then you're kind of doing basically a heel kick in the back, a little heel to butt kick. So that will give you a little stretching into the front of that leg. We'll work on strengthening the hamstring in the back of that leg. Nice, Jackson. Love it, my man. So it's something a little fun. We got a shout out to Becky on this one. She's giving me some cool movements to work with. 3, 2, 1. Let's change the sides. Just prep on the next side. All right, we get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Find the curl with the heel lift. Yeah, first few, you might just take a few moments to get it there. Once you're on track, think my other arm is extended out. Think my belly is tight, my back is upright. Give me all the activation that you can. 10 more seconds, and then we've got quick feet to follow. All right, finished up in 3, 2, 1. Let's put the weight down. Quick feet next, kind of our football shuffle, if you would. Pitter-patter the feet in 3, in 2, in 1. Get them moving. Now, I like the hands to be moving a little bit here, too. Okay, I feel like it gives me just a little bit extra, kind of takes intensity up a little bit. I'm working on just quick taps with those feet. Now, if you needed to, you could give me quick heel lifts, right? We could keep those toes in touch with the floor, and we could still work kind of a good shuffling of those arms and those knees. Once we're done with this, we're going to be on our back, and we're going to have those reverse dead bugs. 3, 2, 1. Come on down, on your back. Start with everything meeting here. Opposite. 2, 1. Same side stays connected as same side extends. So work on eyes looking up at the ceiling. When you pull that elbow and knee together, let's find a little low back press into that pull in as well. Let's kind of put that into what we're doing, feeling, and finding. Nice, my man, nice. All right, we go finished with this in 3, in 2, in 1. We turn it around, we go single leg plank position. We're going to have shoulder taps with that opposite hand. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Single leg, and then that opposite hand tapping. Now I'm going to give you the more manageable approach right here. My knees are down. I'm still going to have that leg lifted, but I'm going to adjust so my hips stay a little bit more forward. And now I'm going to meet that tap of the shoulder and hand from there. Okay, about 10 seconds remaining. Once again, stability through the core. Steady breathing. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Rest for 10. Go to the knees. Rest, recover. Okay, second side. Wide stance. Bring it up. Bring that foot up. 2, 1. And that smooth tap from there. Once again, hips can be forward. A-okay. If you need to be on the knees and have those hips in front. Nicely done, folks. If you struggle with it, that's a good thing. We are getting the body into a challenged state. Last little bit. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Come down to the floor. That is timeout, everybody. That is hangout. That is get yourself some water. Woo! Oh, man. That was extended Tabata. That 10 seconds is a big difference, baby. I mean, let's be real. Let's run percentages. We added 50% more time to those Tabatas.
Okay.
All right. Now, here's the good news. We're not doing Tabatas 3 sets this time around with the programming. It's only 2 sets for these extended Tabata rounds. So we got 1, and we're done. So I want you to just kind of towel off, get whatever water you may need, and we've got 1 more opportunity. We're going to start out with those step back lunges and kind of that chop at the top of the position. So I'm looking for you to get a single moderate or heavy weight in hand, please. All right. Clock has started, so 10 seconds. I want you to get into a good lunge position. Remember, that weight's going to go by the back leg. In 2, in 1, the weight goes by that back step leg, and we lift the weight up to the opposite shoulder. Okay, manageable approach, not going quite as low, and bringing that weight just to maybe right above the shoulder. Awesome. Work through that forward heel, right? Remember to identify the forward heel because that's where we want to be pushing as you stand. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's rest for 10. Okay, second side coming up. Take it slow if you need to in the beginning. We start in 3, in 2, in 1. Remember that weight going by the back leg and then lifting up to the opposite shoulder. So as you stand up, you're breathing out. As you push forward, it's up through that forward heel. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Keep a heavy weight bicep curl with a hamstring curl. Single leg, one hand holds, opposite foot's lifted. 3, 2, 1. We're keeping tall. Okay, we're working on smooth, right? Because you got a heavy weight. What's the best way you can build strength right here? Slow coming down, right? Slow coming down is where we're going to get bigger micro tears of that muscle. And it's the micro tears that the body spends our time, our rehabilitation time, building back up to make us stronger. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. 10 seconds. Switch the weight on over. Okay, remember, opposite leg is the one lifted. 3, 2, 1. Show me good control early on. Right, that opposite hand is extended, so there's stability as well as activity on that side. Nicely done, nicely done. 10 seconds remaining. Once we're done with this movement, it's quick feet, so the weight will go down as we finish this up. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's take the weight, let's put it to the floor. Our quick feet happen next, so we want the feet to be a little wide. Athletic stance, 3, 2, 1. We get that little pitter-patter of the feet, or as that manageable approach, I'm just lifting up those heels, but I'm chugging those arms maybe a little faster if I'm staying a little bit more stationary. Okay? So regardless of what you're doing, get those arms to kind of do some movement at your sides and push tempo if you're feeling good, because we're getting dangerously close to the end here, folks. 10 more seconds. Breathing steady as we get through it. Perfect, Jackson. We're working. We go 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it to the floor. Reverse dead bug. All right. Let's get started in 3, in 2, in 1. Same side connections and same side openings. Now, whenever the elbow and knee crunch on one side, that's your opportunity to find low back press. Find low back press into that, folks. Let's get the back end of that core getting stronger. That breathing is smooth. I love it. Okay, finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Turn it around. Plank position, single leg, shoulder taps. Get beyond the knees. I'll show you that. In 3, in 2, in 1. Whatever leg is lifted, the opposite hand is tapping the shoulder. Yeah, smooth breathing. Tighten the belly to keep yourself safe through this. Yeah, so take that breather. You just notice Jackson kind of burnt out a little bit. A-okay. If you burn out back there, A, don't be afraid to take a break. B, don't be afraid to do the regression. In 2, in 1, you rest. We've got your last 30 seconds of Tabata, and then we've got to tack that 2-2-2 on. 3, 2, 1. Show me a great 30 seconds right here, everybody. You show me the best control you can. You show me smooth breathing and control of the body. There we go. Once again, you burn out, you go to the knees. You burn out, you take a small breather. 10 seconds remaining. Last little bit. We go finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Now, stay to the floor. Bring your weights to either side of your mat. 2, 2, 2s. We've got 3 minutes of exercise and then we're wrapped right here, so it's time to show up. We're going to give you 10 seconds from here. 2 Renegade rows followed by 2 heel lifts. Started in 3, 2, 1. Those Renegade rows can be done from the knees. Those heel lifts can be done from the knees. All right, step it up. Bring those weights up with you. 2 squats. 2 lunges. Back to the floor. 2 Renegade rows. Step it up. Bring those weights up. Work that squat. Lunges. Back to the floor. Continue. Come on. 20 seconds. Nice control, folks. Nice control. 10 more seconds right here. Good squats. Awesome. Finish lunges. Finished up in 3, in 2, in 1. Put the weights down. Mobility straight into it. Lower in. Grab the foot behind you. Come back up and switch. Working stability, focusing the eyes. 15 seconds. If you need it, take a moment just to reset balance. Got yourself 10 seconds left. Nicely done. We're going to go to the floor next in 3, 2, and 1. Come to your side position. Both hands holding a weight. Top arm is extended. Lift the feet and turn in 3, 2, 1. Over to that opposite side. And you can figure out how much of a turn works best for you, right? So you don't need to go all the way, or you can go all the way until even that elbow starts to prop you up. Anything's okay here. Those feet could lightly touch the floor. Is that manageable approach? And then after this, we're getting into that straight leg bicycle kick. Remember, no time in between our core 3 sets. Finished in 3, 2, 1. Straight leg bicycle, weights go down. Okay, straight leg kick, flexed feet as we do that. Or you give me that bicycle where that elbow, that knee starts to come in. We find that connection point of elbow to knee. All right, we're going to be turning around and going on flat to the floor as our finisher. Let's get there in 3, 2, 1. Raise those hands and feet up. Reach back towards the hip. Bring that hand back up and switch. All right, find control. Once again, more manageable approach. Elbows are real close to the ribs. And we still find some nice extension of that hand down by the side of the leg. Smooth breathing. 5 seconds remains. Finished in 3, in 2, in 1. That is break time. That is breather. That is your workout, ladies and gentlemen. I think I can... You tell them.
That kicked me ass.
Did that get you?
I can't even speak.
We're going to have to ask everybody about how they did on this one today. Well, congratulations. You got through it. You got through a killer workout. Tomorrow we're going to kind of dial things down and go a little bit more mobility into what we're doing. In the meantime, it's time for you to recover, which means I want you to go ahead and just lie down on your back. I want you to bring your arms overhead, and I want you to get an opportunity to really just start breathing slower and start breathing deeper. All right. So that belly breath becomes a focal point. Okay. Those hands are maybe reaching a little bit further overhead, so this is continuing to open the front of the body, the chest, the belly, even kind of our lats here. All right, and then let's go ahead and lift the right leg up. Give me a single leg hamstring stretch with the right side. Once again, what Jackson's doing is great. He's got kind of that flexed foot approach. If he wants to move the foot around a little bit, that's always a great way to trigger more response out of the stretch. Find some smaller areas. And once again, that belly breathing continues to be a focal point. Okay, let's allow the leg to go a little over to the left side next. Just a little bit. We're going about 1 foot to the left. Same thing, playful foot up top if you're feeling good with it. All right. Continue to kind of prioritize that deeper, slower breathing still. Okay, from here, bend the right knee. With your left hand, bring that down to the left side of the floor. With your right arm, you're reaching out, you're looking to the right side, and hang on out here for a little bit. Feel where this stretch is opening through the hips as well as the low back. Okay, nice belly breath in. Nice long exhale out. Let's go ahead and unwind the feet, unwind the legs. Let's go to your left leg now, coming straight up and getting into a good hamstring stretch. Well, everybody, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about stress relievers today. I think, stress is certainly something that is a part of our everyday life, but also a part of our everyday life in kind of like different levels. Sometimes we feel really stressed, sometimes we have little minor nagging stresses in other areas. So I wanted to talk about things that we can do to kind of just help us relieve day-to-day stress. And some things are easy and some things require a little bit more, but the talking of them often kind of brings them to light. Let's bring the leg a little across to that right side, once again about a foot. This is once again allowing the outside hip to get some extra stretching, kind of into that IT band, glute medius, glute minimus. And then we bend the knee, we bring it down to the right side. Okay, and we're going to turn, look to the left side with that left arm reaching out. So first thing with stress relievers, well, you just did it. Exercise, right? And exercise is a really powerful stress reliever for a number of reasons. A couple of those being that our stress hormones, something like a cortisol, things that ramp us up and put us into kind of a ready-to-go state. Well, exercise helps to balance that out. So when stressful events happen, we've been utilizing different practices that help us maintain more of a stable point through our hormonal balances. Let's go ahead and unwind the legs and let's get ourselves into our butterfly stretch next. Bottoms of the feet together. You can stay on the back or you can join me in an upright seated position. Once again, my focal point for you is your belly breathing, please. All right, so exercise not only helps kind of balance our stress hormones, but it also helps us sleep better. Not just the physical exertion, but it helps us kind of activate more parts of the brain that allow us to unwind and prepare for sleep at the end of the night. It also increases your confidence. And so I thought this was an interesting correlation of saying that as you're more confident, you're less likely to deal with higher levels of stress. Kind of makes sense. Nice big inhale in. Nice long exhale out. Okay, we're going to turn ourselves into a half kneeling position. So let's get into right foot in front, left knee down. Kind of work into where you want to be. I do want you tall into this approach. If you do want to lean forward to help activate, you're welcome to it. And then that left arm goes up. Your left butt is squeezing behind you as we're holding this stretch position. How about lighting a candle? Sarah does this all the time. In fact, I don't know if you all can see it, but we've got candles kind of just splattered all around the house. And it's a cool little nighttime ritual. In fact, it really does help kind of set the mood of getting things in more of a wind down type of state. Give me a nice big inhale. Nice long exhale. Let's bring that hand down. Let's switch it on over. And this is essentially aromatherapy. So there's some scents that they know like really help us with stress relief, like orange and orange blossom is one of them. Chamomile and chamomile tea. We know at night that chamomile tea is a good sleep aid, kind of helps us set into the mood. Lavender is a good scent for a candle as well. Some soothing music can go along with that. Make sure you're squeezing your butt on your right side, making sure that we're getting a good stretch through this. So I always like to put on ambient music. I'll look for a playlist that says ambient music, and usually that's really mellow, really easygoing, and helps my body kind of unwind. Let's go ahead and bring the hand down from here, and then we're going to get into a comfortable seated position. Wherever that is for you is A-okay. Let's go ahead and put one hand to the floor, and with the opposite hand we're going to reach up and over. And we're going to stay here and do some deeper breathing with holding this. Here's my favorite one, pet an animal. You know, if you see a dog, a cat, as long as they don't have any fleas or that, give them a good pat. It's scientifically proven to lower your blood pressure immediately. Take stress hormones down immediately. Pet an animal, have a pet. Pet your neighbor's pet. Give them a little love. All right, go ahead and switch it on over, opposite time. And then spending time with friends and family. So if you got a workout buddy, you know, you can just do a nice workout together and you can compound that. Another good one is like laugh. And I always think, yeah, my friends and my family, they make me laugh. And if I do need a good laugh, which of them do I know are the best for that? And maybe I'll try to spend time with some of those people, because that could be a great way to kind of lighten things up and get a little stress relief. Let's go ahead and bring it down. We're going to do a few neck rolls to finish it up, so kind of just rolling the neck in one direction 3 or 4 times before you switch. Also, as far as laughing, like maybe putting on a comedy at night. If you enjoy a little Netflix at the end of the night, something that's funny can really help you kind of unwind from the day in a better way. And I loved this one, say no more often. And I thought, I had to think about it for a second, and I was like, okay, you know, I tend to be like a say yes guy in general, like let's not miss out on any experiences. But the point was like know your limits, and I could see this happening a lot with like work. You know, your boss asking you to do something, and maybe you've already got a pile high of what you got to do. And so learning to say no when appropriate is a great way to keep your stress at a minimum. You're not digging yourself into a deeper hole of what you're doing. And also, like, what makes you happy? I think we're all adults for the most part, and we tend to figure out, like, what makes us happy and what doesn't. What are things that we don't like to do? And if you get invited to something that you generally don't like to do, then maybe it's best to just say no, so there's no adherently built up stress along the way of getting into something like that. All right, everybody. That's all I got for you. I hope you can utilize one of those tonight, or maybe in the next day or two when you feel a little bit of stress coming on in any way. You know, whether it's a small bit of stress or that, something that can help you get through the day a little bit more positively. Everybody, high five somebody around you, and stay safe. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you at 11:30.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jackson.